Hey guys, welcome to Tiffany Town 18K, coming right back at you. We are at school because of reasons. Alright, well, let's go ahead and jump head first into this.
What's the first piece of advice you have for them?
Alright, so the first thing we gotta go over are the ways that the room numbering. Yes, it's confusing. No, it doesn't make sense. Yes, you're gonna get used to it.
The simple part is the beginning where pretty much it's like 1-1, 2, or 3, and they have this for a lot of buildings to where
it's building 1, room 1, 2, floor 1, 2, or 3, and then the room number.
Yeah, so the simple part is the first 2 numbers. It's the next part that if you are starting a new school and you don't know how it works, even if you do, because I got confused when I came back and I've already been here for a year, but it's confusing
no bueno.
after a while.
Do not be afraid to ask students, teachers, upperclassmen. They are a lot like dogs.
Be cautious with them.
Be gentle.
There's a select few in any place, along with freshmen, that are nice, they're sweethearts, and there's not a problem with them. But there's also those that are tired of being in school for whatever reason. They just want to get out.
Tired. They're just tired and they're stressed.
They're just annoyed or whatever. Or they're just simply dicks, and they're going to act that way towards you.
They're going to yell at you for not knowing where you're going. They're going to yell at you for being a stupid underclassman, freshman, whatever. Point being, brush that shit off. They are nothing to you. Ask somebody else for help.
I know it's horrible to judge a book by its cover, but look at someone. Look if they look pissed off or something, or if they look nice. It's worth a shot, and if it all comes down to it, ask a teacher.
Do not be afraid to ask for teachers.
They're there for a reason.
They're not just there to teach you, they're there to guide you.
For the most part.
For the most part. Alright, next segment in here. Food. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Make sure that you eat something for breakfast. Unless you're like somebody like my mom and you can't stomach food in the morning, don't sweat it. But if you can eat food in the morning, you're going to want to at least eat a piece of toast or something. You're going to want something in your stomach.
Also, when it comes to lunch, school lunch, it varies from school to school, but for the most part, it's not the best. So if you have to bring money for vending machine or whatever they have at your school, or bring a snack with you, or bring lunch, whatever's going to help you, because being at school with an empty stomach is one of the worst things.
You're going to be focused on your lunch. You're going to be... you're just going to be focused on how hungry you are.
Another thing that is possibly one of the worst, if you lack it, is sleep.
Oh, man. This isn't war paint. Those are circles of sleep deprivation. No bueno.
No, and once again, I personally have a problem with sleep, and I think I speak for both of us, where it's hard to stay awake in class because you only have a couple hours of sleep or no sleep, like I am going off of right now, except for about the hour that I got in my classes. But that's not good. You need to be awake, you need to be alert, you need to be paying attention in class, because your luck, the one time that you fall asleep and you aren't paying attention, your teacher is going to go over something important, and it's going to be the only time they go over it.
So, sleep, know your body. You're going to want to know how well you work with your hours. Because personally, I do better in 2 hours of sleep instead of 3 if I'm not going to get a full 8 hours. So, let's say I stayed up till 2. I already screwed myself. I'm not going to bed right now. So, I'll stay up until 4, sleep till 6, and then I'll drag my ass out of bed.
And then there's other people like myself who you might need to go see a doctor, because if you are sleeping the 8 hours, or if you're sleeping more, or if you're sleeping less, or you don't sleep at all and you're tired regardless and you cannot stay awake, you're probably lacking something in the health department, and it's best to see a doctor then. I know this is not the right video to talk about health, but it is very important that you don't run your yourself down.
Do not do that.
Because then things are just going to end up being worse. Another important thing is stress. And it's not important to have stress, but it is an important topic to go over because stress can make or break your school life.
And what we pile in with stress are tests and studying and homework. Alright, so what you're going to want to do, say that you have 3 subjects of homework. Say I have trig, world history, and biology. I'm going to want to do one subject first, and then I'm going to clear my mind of that, do the next one, rinse and repeat until I have all my homework done, and then you fucking reward yourself for doing all that homework.
Another thing is studying. Now, it may
be
come to a
above
surprise to you, but cramming for anything is the worst possible thing because you think that it will be fresh in your mind because you got it all done either the morning before, the night before, whatever, but you are going to forget. It's better to space your studying out, whether it be like 15 minutes, half an hour for the week of the test, and you just kind of review right before the test. Do not listen to music with words.
No words.
Basically, if you're listening to music with words, you can get it mixed up with whatever you're studying. And the last thing you need is to be in psychology, taking a test, dealing with the psychologist or Sigmund Freud or whatever, and you get, I don't know, One Direction lyrics stuck in your head.
You don't need to be studying world history and be like, so who divorced his wife and went against the Pope?
Jeremy McKinnon.
Patrick Stump. No, it's fucking King Henry. Get your shit straight. Do not listen to music with words. I would recommend like classical music if you're into that, or finding instrumental versions of the songs that you like. I personally have a soft spot in my heart for video game music, so I would recommend going and downloading a whole bunch of video game music.
Personally, I like classical music when it comes to that. If I ever get around to that. I'm possibly one of the worst people to make this video, but it's better to take all of my mistakes that I've made throughout my 11 years of school and kind of help out anyone who's watching this and better their problems before it gets too late.
On the topic of music, let's just, if you're allowed to listen to music during class, do not be that dick who blares their music so you can hear every single word, because the teacher's gonna be like, yo, turn that shit down. And then when you don't, you're gonna ruin it for everybody and you're going to be the hated student in the class. Don't do it.
I don't care if you listen to your music loudly outside of class, but honestly, if I'm in class, I keep my volume way down low. Like, I make sure the people around me cannot hear. Like, I'll ask them, hey, can you hear my music? Because usually I only put one headphone in, so if the teacher does talk to me, I can still hear them fine. If you miss a lot of school, like I do, it's best to go into study hall, lab, whatever your school calls it, and maybe even do it towards lunch or after school or before school or whatever, and get your missing work done, because you may just think, oh, I only missed a few homework assignments, it's not going to affect my grade. It will, and you'll end up having to go to winter school,
summer school, fall school, spring school,
whatever. And it's not fun to be up early in the morning when you could be at home sleeping like all of your friends are,
or staying up late playing video games
because you have to take a test or
don't do it.
Whatever.
Don't let it snowball, because that snowball will run you flat to the ground. It's just not worth it.
It piles up very quickly.
When your teacher says, hey, this is very important, and you say, oh, I'm just gonna remember that, do not write that shit down.
I don't care if you have to write it in your phone because you don't have paper at the time, or if you have to write it on your hand, get it written down and then put it in your notes and make sure you remember that, because your teacher is telling you these things for a reason. It is important in one way or another. Also, if you're taking notes and you have to kind of go off what your teacher's saying, if your teacher repeats it, you need to write it down.
Very important.
They are repeating it for a reason, whether you have to underline it, bold it, highlight it, do whatever to remember that that part of your notes is very important, but make sure it gets written down because you will need it. Taking all of these things into consideration, just do the best you can do. Do not focus on getting straight A's or 4.0 GPA because you will work yourself to death.
Do not push yourself. Do as best you can, and if you're comfortable there, push yourself a little bit, but do baby steps, not giant leaps, you feel me?
Be the best that you personally can be. Do not aspire to be something you are not.
Do not, you are a sproutling. Don't compare yourself to an oak. Just look how much you've grown. You have to strive. She has to strive to be the best Tiffany she can be. I have to strive to be the best Alex I can be.
You will get there eventually. You will exceed some people's expectations. If you have family that is putting you down, saying you'll never make it to college or you'll never graduate, prove them wrong. That is motivation in itself.
Yeah, don't let their words drag you down. Let put their words under you and use them as stepping stones. You got this. But I guess that's really all we had to say for this video because my mom's probably gonna be here soon. So if you like our stuff, like, subscribe, give us one of these.
These are always welcomed.
Everywhere. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop us a message in our Tumblr Ask box.
Or down below in the comments.
You can also tweet us on Twitter at TalentTK.
We will also be leaving, like always, mine, Alex, and Kevin's blogs down below. Like, as she already said, with the channel's blog and Twitter, because those are always down there if you haven't noticed by now. And that's pretty much it for this video.
So, Alex out.